All right, so we did dividing fractions when they were nice and proper and not too difficult. Now we're going to move on to dividing mixed numbers. I don't want you to think this is any scarier or there's more to do. There's obviously a couple more steps, but it's not any harder. You know how to work with mixed numbers, so this is not going to be any different. All right. Once again, let's write down some steps. Okay. So our first step is going to be to convert mixed numbers or whole numbers to fractions. All right, so they have to be n over d. Okay, so it can't be a mixed number, it can't be a whole number. You have to make sure everything's a fraction. All right, so a numerator over denominator. It doesn't matter if it's improper, so it doesn't matter if the bigger number's on top, but it has to be in fraction form. Okay, you can't have any whole numbers whatsoever, whether it's a mixed number or a whole number, they can't be there. Okay, so once you've gotten things looking like they're supposed to look, then we can do our usual. And I'm going to shorten this to save some time. Keep, change, flip. Okay, because it's the same steps that you already know. All right, once again, next step is just going to be multiply. And then obviously simplify. Okay. So the only thing that you have to do differently this time is before you start doing any keeping and changing and flipping, you need to make sure that your mixed numbers and whole numbers are gone. Okay, so make sure everything's in fraction form. All right, so you're still going to be seeing the word reciprocal. You're still going to be simplifying, still going to be multiplying, still be doing all that same stuff. We just got to do one extra step before we start doing all that stuff. So let's look at what we got. Let's go ahead and start some examples so I don't run out of time. All right, let's see, what are we starting with? Let's start with 4 1/5 divided by 7/15. Okay, 4 1/5 divided by 7/15. Okay, so I see pretty much the problem I've already done before, but now it's just got an extra little step in it. So the first step, the new step that we just wrote down at the top, was make sure there's no mixed numbers or whole numbers, okay? Well, I don't see any whole numbers, but I do see a mixed number that I need to fix. So before I do any work whatsoever, before I do any keeping and changing and flipping, I need to take care of this. So we got to take care of this right here. So remember, convert this to an improper fraction. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 1 is 21, over 5, because remember that denominator does not change, okay? So now I'm just going to rewrite the other stuff because nothing else needs to change. Okay, 7/15 is already in fraction form. I don't need to change that, okay? So I've done step 1. Great job, okay? Now we're on to the rest of it. Keep, change, flip, okay? Well, just like before, you take it in order. Keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip, okay? So what do I keep? I'm going to keep the 21 over 5. Leave it alone. Okay. Then I'm going to change the division sign to a multiplication sign. Okay. Then I'm going to flip my second fraction. So instead of having 15 over 7, instead of having 7 over 15, I'm going to have 15 over 7. Now, for those of you that like to multiply, or for those of you that are at home doing things that I don't know about, like using calculators, you can go right ahead and calculate this. I'm going to do some cross canceling because that will make my life much, much easier. So looking across from each other, 21 and 7. What do 21 and 7 both share? Well, they both share 7. So if I divide this by 7, I get 1. If I divide this by 7, I get 3. Okay? Well, that's already made my life easier. But as luck would have it, I can still cross cancel again the other way. Now remember, when you're going across, you have to use the same number. But now that I'm going this way, I don't have to use the same number. So it's not like I have to do 7 again because 7 doesn't work for those. What number works for 5 and 15? Obviously 5. So if I do 5 divided by 5, I get 1. If I do 15 divided by 5, I get 3. So now my new fraction is, let me write it in orange, sorry. I've got 3 over 1 times 3 over 1. Now remember, I've already done my keep, change, flip. I've already done all that. When I was at this step, before I multiplied, I just did some cross canceling. So now I'm at the multiply stage, so I go straight across. 3 times 3 is 9. 1 times 1 is 1. You would not write it like this. You would write it like that. All right? Simple enough, I hope. But don't worry, we have more examples. All right, what's next? Let's try 15 and 1/2 divided by 5/8. Okay? Once again, I see a mixed number. I don't see a whole number, sorry. I see a mixed number, so I need to change that, okay? So before I do any keep, change, flip, I got to make sure everything's in fraction form. This one is fine. This one is not. All right, so 15 times 2 is 30, plus 1 is 31, over 2, divided by 5/8. Okay? Some of you might be thinking you're being extra. You're just writing it over again. But I'm telling you, if you don't take the time to write it out like that again, you're going to end up flipping something that you don't need to flip, or you're going to be doing the math wrong on something. So I'm telling you, take the extra time to write it out again, and it will really save you from messing up later. Okay, so I've done step 1. Now I'm on step 2. I keep. Well, what do I keep? Well, I always keep the first fraction. So 31 over 2 can stay. All right. I'm at the change. Well, what do I change? I change the division sign to a multiplication sign. Okay? Now I flip my second fraction. All right, so instead of being 5/8, I'm going to flip it to 8 over 5. Okay? Unfortunately, there's nothing I can cross cancel with 31 and 5. That's just not going to happen. All right? But I can cross cancel 2 and 8. All right? What goes into 2 and 8? Well, that would be 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Okay? So now my new fraction is 31 over 1 times 4 over 5. All right? Remember, I've already done the keep, change, flip, so I'm not keeping and changing and flipping anything. Now I'm at the multiply step. So I multiply straight across. 31 times 4 is, I think it's 124. Pretty sure about that. And then 5 times 1 is 5. Okay? Sometimes, like I've said before, you leave your answer just like that. But if they want it as a mixed number, you do have to convert it. So how many times does 5 go into 124? It goes into it 24 times. And then there's 4 left over, and my denominator stays the same. Okay? All right. Next one. All right, we've got 2 2/3 divided by 1 4/5. Okay? Well, this one's got a lot going on. Remember, I can't have mixed numbers, so I need to change these. All right, 2 2/3. So 2 times 3 is 6, plus 2 on top is 8. So that's 8/3. Oh, I'm not supposed to write in orange yet. Sorry, I'm very OCD about that. So 8/3 divided by 1 times 5 is 5, plus 4 is 9. So that's 9/5. So once again, I have not done any keep, change, flip yet. All I've done is fixed my mixed numbers, okay? Now I need to keep, change, flip. All right, well, what am I going to keep? I'm going to keep this first fraction the same. So 8/3 is not going to change. Then I'm going to take my division sign and I'm going to change it to a multiplication sign. And then I flip my second fraction. So instead of being 9/5, it is now going to be 5/9. Okay? Unfortunately, once again, there's nothing I can cross cancel. So I go straight across. 8 times 5 is 40. 3 times 9 is 27. Okay? You might get to leave, you might be lucky and you can leave it like that. But if not, change it to a mixed number. It's going to end up being 1 and 13 over 27. Okay? All right, last one. Let's see, we got number 4. 6 3/4 divided by 2. All right, do me a favor, pause me, try to work this one out by yourself, and see if you get it right or not. At least try to set it up. All right, if you don't feel comfortable trying to solve it, you can at least set it up the right way. All right. Obviously, I'm going to solve it, but like I said, just challenge yourself. Pause me, see if you can work it out by yourself, and just see if you get it right. Okay. But the first thing I need to fix is I see a mixed number here and I see a whole number here. We can't have that. All right, so let's go ahead and fix those problems. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 3 is 27 over 4. Remember, anytime you have a whole number, you just put a 1 underneath it. Okay, so now things are fixed. All right, now I got to do my keep, change, flip. Okay, so keep the first number. Change division to multiplication, and then flip your second fraction. So now it's going to be 1 over 2. Okay? Unfortunately, there's nothing I can cross cancel, so I just go straight across. 27 times 1 is 27. 4 times 2 is 8. All right? If it wants it as a mixed number, 8 goes into 27 3 times. There are 3 left over, and 8 is my denominator. Okay? So the most important part with dividing mixed numbers is definitely staying organized, okay? Take the extra seconds, rewrite this like you're supposed to, because you got to get rid of those mixed numbers. If you try to do this in your head without rewriting it, I promise you're going to get, first of all, very confused, but second of all, you're probably going to be very wrong, okay? So please, even my boys that hate showing their work, that hate taking that extra minute to do some organization or showing your work, please just write it down and it'll definitely help you get that problem right.